Doctor Who, The Collection, Season 25. Wow. I know I usually say this on pretty much every single one of the collection sets, but wow. Honestly, this has to be the best of the collection sets so far when it comes to cover art. Lee Binding's work here compared to his other ones, which are all obviously absolutely spectacular, this goes above and beyond. And to mark it as the final McCoy season to have been added to the collection set and make this the best one, the most impactful one, especially with it being such an impactful season. I mean, I'd put this in my top 3 Doctor Who seasons of all time, definitely, just because of how incredible it is. It's so action-packed and incredible. We'll get into that later, obviously, but to finally have this as the one to complete a full series, to have the second Doctor, because Colin just managed to sneak his way in there first by having one less season, to have all of his seasons put onto the collection set. This is absolutely spectacular. And now I'm going to ruin the value of it. Where should we cut into it? There we are. So, taking the plastic wrap off, absolutely gorgeous. I do say this about every single collection set, and that's because Lee Binding's work is always absolutely spectacular, but this in particular, the level of detail in the background, for one, is something that not a lot of the other collection sets do. I mean, if we're going to compare this to the previous two, Season 24, and also Season 26, I feel like they don't really compare. Season 24's, it's a lot more mundane, it's a jovial season, so it's not as action-packed. Season 25 really sticks out here. 26 is keeping with the theme, but you can see which one stands out of all of them, especially in terms of the image quality. This looks like it seems to be in more like a 4K type image quality, standard definition, and then HD. Obviously, I don't know what the actual image qualities of this stuff is, but you can definitely see a difference. Clear and simple. Wow. Absolutely incredible. But that is not what we're here for, just the cover art. Taking off the beautiful sleeve. Having an actual full look at it. We've got the Dalek Supreme from Remembrance of the Daleks. Just a Cyberman from Silver Nemesis, sadly not the Cyber Leader, but I guess when you're very limited on what images you can use, perhaps the Cyber Leader's images weren't as good. The Special Weapons Dalek, perhaps the most famous Dalek from that story. Shame we didn't get a Davros, but it's good to have one side from the Renegades and one from the Imperials. The Candyman and the Chief Clown. And of course the Doctor is holding the Nemesis bow. The Doctor's always got something in their hand, whether it be, like on the other two sets, the spoons and the umbrella. They've got to have something in their hand to really represent the season. I feel like him holding the bow and the arrow of the Nemesis really does fit when it comes down to it. And in the background, we've got the actual Nemesis statue itself in the asteroid field where the Cyber Fleet would be. There also seems to be kind of like mercury bubbles. That's what I describe it as, like liquid metal. So perhaps that's meant to be kind of excess validium coming off of the asteroids at the top. Honestly, not really sure. But turning it over, a wonderful, wonderful image of the TARDIS itself. I have absolutely no idea what that is, and I have no idea why. What is that meant to be? I'm really, really not sure. Yeah, I've got nothing on what that is. Is it something from the Happiness Patrol? It's been a while since I've seen that one. Maybe it's from Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Yeah, I really have absolutely no idea. But the TARDIS looks absolutely spectacular here. The blue is probably my favourite part of all of this. Just the amount of beautiful, vibrant colours is amazing. But if we were to look onto the sleeve and look onto the back, we have a description. So, continue your Doctor Who archive with the Ultimate Collector's Set, Remembrance of the Daleks, the Happiness Patrol, Silver Nemesis, and the Greatest Show in the Galaxy. All 14 episodes newly restored for Blu-ray and packed with extra material, including exclusive special editions, updated special effects, 3 in-conversation specials, Behind the Sofa, an absolute favourite of this series and a staple, behind the scenes of the making of Silver Nemesis, Silver Nemesis's VHS version. Ooh, I don't know if they've actually put that on other sets. That's quite unique. Because it's from the original master tapes and the extended VHS release, so does that mean the story itself was extended? I'm not really sure for that. Looking for Dursley, which is, I believe, like how there are some different documentaries going into producers and directors in the past that don't really have much on them, but they have been an integral part of Doctor Who history. So this is about Dursley McClendon, who I'm honestly not sure who is. Doesn't really come to mind. We've got exclusive archive treats, so previously unavailable content from the BBC archives, which is probably now on YouTube. Studio and location footage, surround sound, music score. Ooh, isolated music score, very nice. PDF written archive, blah blah blah, starring Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Now we've got that out of the way, let's get into the actual set itself. Going on to opening the set itself, and then going to the left, we have, of course, always the TARDIS opening doors. Now, this is from the Happiness Patrol. We've got the wanted poster of Ace Sigma. Ace Sigma, I don't remember why she's called Ace Sigma. Very interesting indeed. And opening it up. Cover art from before, which was just barely glimpsed on the back of the sleeve. Taking it out all the adverts. Aha, so it is from Greatest Show in the Galaxy. I don't remember what this machine does, honestly. Is it picking up a distress pulsar? The nice TARDIS interior. Fantastic. So, moving on, we'll look at the booklets. As always, we've got let's just close that really quick. As always, we've got adverts, so more exciting products from Doctor Who. Now, this will finally be updated, because the last one I think we had was in September, about May this year. And not a lot of products were actually out yet. I think the 14th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver would have been the last. But they've still advertised Time Lord Victorious and Doomsday, which a little bit shocking for me. Lost in Time, terrible game, please don't play it. Audiobooks of the actual stories from Series 14, not calling it Season 1. 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver, this is the character online, but it looks more like the retail version. The official annual of 2025. I never understood why annuals do that, why they always release the annual of the next year. It's like with FIFA games, where they'll release FIFA 24 in 2023. Really weird. Dalek Awakens, which I swear doesn't even... Is that still going on? Because they keep advertising it, and they've advertised it for the last 3-4 years. Crazy. I TARDIS, so a nice spin on I Claudius. Memoirs of an Impossible Blue Box. That sounds very interesting indeed. Forbidden Planet exclusives, and of course Doctor Who magazine. But the adverts are ridiculous, as per always. The real thing is the booklet itself. So, Doctor in the TARDIS. Welcome to Season 25. Season 24 had brought Doctor Who back from the brink, with a new Doctor, new companion, and radical refresh. But in the panic to get the underprepared season to screen, there was no time for producer John Nathan Turner and script editor Andrew Cartmel to nail down a consistent tone and firm up the character of the Seventh Doctor. Sylvester McCoy had been left to his own devices and fallen back on the familiar, his experience in comedy. But given time to reflect, McCoy realised that he had taken this too far and wanted to rework his characterisation for the next season. So, a nice little talk about how the fact that the Seventh Doctor starts out as this funny, jovial character who's essentially a clown, but then turns into the darker, more Second Doctor-like character, carefully moving the chess pieces behind the scene. And this is really the series where it starts, especially, I'd have to say, in Silver Nemesis. And, well, Remembrance of the Daleks, of course. Remembrance of the Daleks has the whole thing of he knows exactly what's going to happen by the end of the story. He just has to get it there and manoeuvre the hand of Omega. Speaking of Remembrance of the Daleks, absolutely fantastic story, and I mean, we all know why. But it's good to see some good special features on this one, because with a story like this, you've got to talk about it as much as possible and show everything there is. Oh, that's a brand new piece of art as well. That is very, very nice. Remembrance of the Daleks gets a lot of stuff in this one. Good lord, how many pages are we giving it? The Happiness Patrol, got Helen A, and I think Silas P, if I remember correctly. Silver Nemesis, an underrated story in my opinion. A lot of people do not like it, and I can kind of see why, but it's just a really interesting story. The neo-Nazi guy, I hope I don't get demonetized for saying that. Of course, the Silver Nemesis Cybermen. Sadly, the only time that the Earthshock variant, or the Neomorphs, become Ice Morphs and have that beautiful silver look over them. The fact that this was the unofficial 25th anniversary is very, very strange. That's very interesting. Very unique indeed. I don't remember anything like that from Silver Nemesis. She doesn't really wear that outfit. Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Very creepy story looking back on it in reflection. And a wonderful image of the gods of Ragnarok and the Doctor with a sword. Yeah, I don't really remember much about Greatest Show in the Galaxy either, but it's a very good show. Very good show, very good story. And of course, some nice prints of the actors on the back. So, moving on, let's get onto the discs themselves. So, onto the discs, we've got disc 1, Remembrance of the Daleks. Fantastic, with Sophie and, of course, Sylve on the front, and a nice stony background. Now, I mean, if we look ahead, I think this is just a consistent thing. It's got nothing to do with the actual story itself. A nice template for the background. Disc 2, the special edition of Remembrance of the Daleks. Of course, got to have the special weapons Dalek on there. Disc 3, the Happiness Patrol with the Candyman. Happiness Patrol Special Edition with Helen A. Silver Nemesis with the Cyber Leader. It's good to actually have an image of the Cyber Leader himself rather than just a regular Cyberman. Lady Painfort for Disc 6. The Chief Clown for Disc 7. And Disc 8, the Doctor and Ace again, for the Greatest Show in the Galaxy and the bonus. And of course, as always, Sylvester McCoy's face in the back, which is just him painted silver and put in front of a camera. Very nice. And there we have it, Doctor Who The Collection Season 25. In my opinion, I know I always say this, but this is the best one that they've released so far. And I cannot wait to rewatch this season, as it's been quite a while. I think the last one I watched was either The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, because I hadn't actually seen that one up until maybe a couple of years ago. And of course, Remembrance of the Daleks, as I did a review quite a while ago. Don't go watch that, it's absolutely awful. But yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, as it really helps the channel. But as always, thanks for watching.